one that's turned me down today. The only way I'm going to get a loan to buy the coupe is to rob a bank.
I suppose you're thinking about doing that, too.
What?
Never mind.
You don't even seem to care that I could miss out on a chance to get this place.
You're lucky I'm even talking to you, Ruby.
Because of the letter?
I'm right, it's because of the letter.
Billy Joe, I told you why I wrote it.
That's not good enough, Ruby. You never should have done it in the first place. If Vicki Bellman ever got wind of it, she wouldn't stop to ask the reason as to why you ruined her husband's political career.
Where are you going?
I'm getting something to eat.
I just got to get this money. I just got to. We're at 272.
Marshall Ranch, Lurleen speaking.
Hi, Lurleen. This is Ruby.
Hello, Ruby.
I just called to see how you're doing.
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to stay very long the other day when I came over. But I just wanted to tell you how sorry I felt about your granddaddy.
I appreciate you coming by, Ruby. It was real thoughtful of you.
Well, I figured it was only right. I mean, you have been into the coop a few times, and we know each other.
Thank you. Is there something I can do to help you, Ruby?
Well, actually, I was kind of thinking I could help you.
What do you mean?
I was wondering if you're going to be busy today.
Well, no, not really.
Well, I know how sad you must be feeling out there at the ranch all by yourself, and I thought maybe you'd like to get away for a little while.
Oh, I don't know, Ruby.
Oh, it'd be good for you, Lurleen. Why don't you come down and visit me at the coop?
Can I get you something more, Mr. Wheeler?
Not for me, Vivian.
It's very good, Vivian. You're welcome.
Well, what are you planning to do today?
Oh, not much of anything. I think I'll just take it easy.
You've been rather busy ever since you arrived, haven't you?
Yeah, Houston certainly turned out to be more exciting than I expected.
That Harper episode take a lot out of you?
The opposite. No, I'm just sorry poor Lurleen lost her grandfather.
Yes, that little girl certainly has had her share of troubles, hasn't she?
Yeah, and that money isn't going to be much consolation, knowing it was Justin Marshall who bought the place.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Mr. Wheeler. Oh, there you are. Good
morning, Rita.
Good morning.
Hi.
Well, you look cheerful.
I have reason to be. Have you seen the newspaper this morning?
No, not yet.
Page 9.
Well, can't you just tell me?
You better read it. We've got something that'll nail Justin Marshall's hide to the wall.
You didn't have to come into work today, darling. You must still be shaken with what happened between Bubba and you last night.
Well, that's exactly the reason why I'm glad I'm here. I don't have to think about it.
You're never going to have to worry about Bubba again. He's never going to be in our lives again. I can guarantee that.
Let's don't even talk about it, okay? It's all over with. And I needed to be here anyway. I've got a lot of work to do.
Work can wait. I have a surprise for you.
What kind of surprise?
Well, I was going to wait for a little while, but this is a good time to let you know.
Let me know what?
I'd appreciate it if you'd knock before you came barging in here, TJ.
You haven't read the paper this morning yet, have you?
No, why?
Well, I'm anxious to see how we're going to get out of this.
What are you talking about?
Read it.
Damn.
What is it? What is it, Justin?
The franchise owners of the Ace High stations are getting an injunction to stop the sale to Marshall Oil.
Texas. Starring Beverly McKinsey.
Hey there, pretty lady.
Hi, Bo.
Say, you look a little down.
Yeah, I am.
You want to tell me about it?
No.
Say, I'm free tonight if you want to go out somewhere.
No, I don't think so. Not tonight. Maybe another time, okay?
This isn't one of your little games now, is it?
What?
Well, you said that we'd go out together soon. When soon?
Bo, I don't know, okay?
Okay, no problem. I tell you what. When you're ready, why don't you just let me know?
Sure.
Maybe I'll see you at the coop tonight.
What does that creep want?
Nothing. We were just talking.
About what?
Nothing.
Hey, what's bothering you, Elena? Is Bo coming on to you?
No, Ricky, it's nothing to do with Bo.
Well, then what is it?
Joe was sentenced today. He's going to Huntsville prison for 6 months to a year.
Hey, well, that's good, isn't it?
Oh, come on. How could that be good? He's going to prison.
Elena, it could have been much worse. He could have been sentenced for a lot longer.
I know, but I was hoping.
Hoping what?
I don't know, hoping that he'd get off completely.
Hey, come on, cheer up. Look, before you know it, the year's going to be up and he's going to be back home.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but I don't know. I'm just worried about what's going to happen to him while he's in prison.
Joe is going to be all right. He's tough. He can take care of himself. I'm not worried about Joe. I'm worried about you.
Why are you worried about me?
Because you're making a mistake leading Bo on like that.
I've got my reasons, Ricky.
Elena, you're playing a dangerous game. He is a thug. Now, I don't want to see anything happen to you.
I am not going to stop until I find out what Bo has on Ruby.
Why are you doing this, Elena?
Because I am going to drive Ruby and Bo out of Houston if it's the last thing I do.
Stop the sale. Can they do that?
They're going to try.
I don't understand. How can they do this?
It's very simple. They just go to court and do it, Ashley.
But why?
Evidently, the station franchise owners expected to receive a share from the sale, but it never came.
Did you know about this, Justin?
No, I swear I didn't.
Well, now, what's going to happen if they get this injunction?
It could mean that Marshall Oil is going to be stopped before it even gets started, unless we can come up with a big chunk of money.
I'm sorry, I still don't understand. I thought that the sale was final.
Now, there is no reason to panic.
We'll come up with the money.
This is my responsibility, TJ. Just keep your nose right out of this.
My nose is already in it. I'm working here, too. Remember, I want to help.
Yeah, of course. Do you have any ideas?
Justin, you got enough money to pay these guys off?
There's no way that they can get the injunction. The sale is already final.
Yes, they can. There's a precedent.
What precedent?
The courts have ruled that if you buy a chain of stations from franchise owners and you make no provisions to pay the debts of those franchise owners, forget it. Now, if the franchise owners of Ace High were led to expect something from the sale of their company to you, we're in big trouble because that's considered a debt that has to be paid.
Well, you're sure full of good news this morning.
Those are the facts, Ashley. We've got to face it.
If I only had more time.
Well, from the sounds of their attorney, he's not going to allow you any more time. Look, we've got to do something fast. Because without that Ace High chain, Marshall Oil's going nowhere.
TJ's right. We have to have that chain. This whole company is built on that chain.
I'm securing leases based on the purchase of Ace High. Now, if the people I've been talking to ever get wind of this, well, they're going to swing right back over to World Oil. You never answered my question. Do we have any capital to pay these guys off?
I'll get it one way or the other.
Justin, though, we've got to have a more secure...
TJ, would you leave me with my husband to talk, please, alone?
Sure.
We don't have the money, do we?
This is just a threat of an injunction, Rena.
It's going to happen, Grant. There's no way Justin can get that much money. And I'm going to see to it that this little mistake puts Marshall Oil under for good.
Well, he could do a little fancy footwork there and still hang on to Ace High Stations.
Well, I think I intend to do a little fancy footwork myself.
Like what?
Like seeing Mr. Porky Doyle.
The station operator's attorney?
That's right.
Well, how do you plan to approach him?
I'm meeting with him this afternoon in my office. I'm going to let him know that World Oil could be interested in picking up the A-side chain.
Yeah, that's a pretty good plan, Rena. I just want to make sure that you're not 100% motivated by your dislike for Justin.
Oh, I'm not. Don't worry about that. But putting Justin under will certainly be a nice little coup for me, wouldn't it? Now, Grant, I got to have your approval so I can tell Doyle that we're interested.
You've got it. We need a distributing arm, and Ace High is perfect.
That's all I wanted to hear. I'll see you later at the office. Bye, Brett. I'm sorry we didn't have a chance to talk. Sure.
Dad, what do you think of her?
Oh, I think she's... What kind of a question is that?
I hit a nerve.
I'm going to work.
I like her a lot, too, Dad.
We'll talk about that a little later, right? Mrs. Bellman?
Yes?
We haven't been properly introduced just yet, but I'd like to take this opportunity to do it if I may. My name is Bo Baker. I'm the assistant producer on the new Billy Joe Wright show.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Baker.
You can call me Bo, ma'am. Mrs. Bellman.
I'm in a hurry right now, Mr. Baker.
That's Bo, please.
Is it important?
Well, I came up with some ideas for the set, and I'd really like to talk them over with you.
I really don't have the time right now, Mr. Baker.
Well, then perhaps I could make an appointment with your secretary, because I really would like to know what you think.
Mr. Baker, if you have any ideas for the show, I suggest you share them with the producer. I'll discuss it with him. I deal with the people in charge, not their assistants. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Hi there.
Hey,
Am I interrupting anything?
I could use an interruption right now. Come in.
Thank you.
What are you doing here?
Oh, well, I was just in the neighborhood and I... No, that's not really true. I came over because I thought you might like to have lunch with me.
Oh, I'd love to, but I've got too much work to do here.
Okay. Well, how about dinner then? You still owe me a dinner at the boathouse, remember?
I haven't forgotten. I'm not putting you off, Paige. It's been hectic around here.
It's okay, don't apologize, I understand. Maybe we can have dinner sometime soon.
Yes. Soon.
Have you heard from Dennis?
He called yesterday.
How does he like New York?
He says it's wonderful. He's following up the leads that Vicky gave him. Says he's anxious to get back to work again.
Good. Glad to hear he's doing so well. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you about, Elliot. Did you read the paper this morning?
Yeah.
Did you read the article about Ace High?
Mm-hmm. What about it?
Well, I was wondering with your news sources if you had heard whether the injunction might go through or not.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Do you think it will?
Well, it's difficult to say. It's a complicated situation.
I'm just worried about Justin. I know Ace High means so much to him. I'm afraid if he loses it, Marshall Oil may fold.
Well, if Justin's company is on shaky ground, its demise can't be blamed on Ace High.
Well, the oil business is like that, Elliot.
Well, maybe it's only like that for some people.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
I don't think we should get into it.
No, I disagree. I think we should.
Oh, what's the sense? I've tried to make friends with Justin. It won't work. I don't like the way he does business.
There is nothing wrong with Justin's business tactics, Elliot.
They don't wash with me.
I happen to be very proud of the way what my brother's done for my family name.
It's none of my business. Please don't get involved with him. You might get hurt.
Well, I appreciate your concern, but I don't happen to agree. And I think if you were really concerned, you might give me a call sometime or come by the shop.
You're right, Paige. You're right. I should call more often, but it has been busy here.
Oh, too busy to pick up a phone? Well, I've been busy too, Ellie. I'm going to go now. I wouldn't want to keep you from your...
Paige, please don't go yet.
Well, does Marshall Oil have the money to pay those people?
I'll take care of it, Ashley.
We don't have the money. That's what you're saying,
Ashley,
isn't
I'll...
it?
Justin, I want to talk to you.
Doesn't that secretary ever stop anybody from barging in here?
I just didn't want to give you the chance to slip out the back door.
Grandma, now, is that a nice thing to say? We're always glad to see you. Aren't we, Ashley?
Blarney, Justin. I want some answers.
About what, Grandma?
I want to know what you're up to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do, Justin. You bought the Harper place.
What?
And you're planning to do something with it.
The Harper place. What is she talking about?
Hey, Billy Joe. Where's Ruby?
She's in the office over there. How's Lena doing?
Yeah, she's a little down today. Joe got sentenced.
How'd it go?
He got a year in Huntsville.
She's unhappy about that?
Yeah, she was hoping he'd get off completely. I told her he was pretty lucky.
Yeah, I thought so too. Thanks.
Billy Joe, there's something I think you should know.
What's that?
Elena's out to get Ruby.
Who are you talking about?
Elena still thinks that Ruby's responsible for what happened to Joe. She swears she's not going to quit until she drives both Ruby and Bo out of town.
I just wish everybody quit lumping the two of them together.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen unless Bo stops hanging around her the way he does. Elena's sure that Bo has something on Ruby.
Like what?
Well, I don't know, but she's trying to find out.
Do you think she's right?
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it, Billy Joe. Why else would Ruby give that no-talent creep a job on the show?
Well, maybe he's a talented creep.
Oh, come on. You don't believe that any more than I do. Look, Ruby is too sharp a manager, and she's got a pretty good eye for talent, but every time I ask her about this guy, all she can say is he's my client.
What are you trying to say here, Ricky?
I'm trying to say that the only reason he got that job is that he must be holding something over her head.
You thinking of doing something?
I think we both ought to do something.
Both?
Look, she's your sister. I think you'd want to get the guy out of her life as much as I do.
I just wish Bo dropped dead.
Well, then you'll help me find out what's going on between Ruby and Bo?
Ricky, I think that...
Hi, Ricky.
The cat is out of the bag. Grandma, you spoiled my little surprise for Ashley.
Well, Ashley seems surprised enough as it is.
Ashley is surprised.
Well, darling, I was going to tell you all about it when Grandma burst into the room. I did buy the Harper property. That's where I'm going to build the dream house I've talked to you about.
I know better than that, Justin. I want to know what you're up to.
Grandma, you've got me all wrong. I'm not up to anything. I bought the place out of the kindness of my heart and because I wanted to protect the land.
Justin, you and I are going to have to talk about this thing, sweetheart.
That's exactly what I was going to do, darling. I wanted to talk to you about the mansion I'm going to build for us.
Believe a word you're saying, Justin. Somehow you're going to exploit that land.
That's not true.
I know it.
That's not true. Grant and Ryan are the real exploiters. You wait and see. In 6 months, Marshall Ranch will be covered with oil derricks. You just wait and see, but don't you worry. Ashley and I have talked about your having your own quarters in our mansion. We'll take you in, Grandma. Isn't that true, Ashley?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to go to work now. Buzz me when you're through.
All right, darling.
How dare you talk like that about Grant and Ryan? They wouldn't do anything underhanded. Not like you. Justin, you seem to try to make life miserable for everybody. Now, you didn't even send condolences to Lurleen.
Oh, I'm going to do better than that, Grandma. I'm going to convince her to invest in Marshall Oil, make a millionaire out of her.
Over my dead body.
You know, Grandma, I'd like to talk to you some more, but I'm very busy. You understand, don't you?
Justin, sometimes I regret the day you were born.
Karen, get me Porky Doyle.
Hello, Mr. Doyle. Please come in.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Decker.
Won't you have a seat? Would you like to have some coffee?
No, thank you. I never touch the stuff.
All right. If you don't mind, I'd like to get right to the point.
Well, good. I'm running a pretty tight schedule today.
I understand. I want to know everything you can tell me about this injunction that you're filing against Marshall Oil.
Well, you've read the papers?
Yes?
Well, then you know pretty much all the details. These men have been had by the sale, and, well, it's my job to see that they get every penny they deserve.
I agree. Exactly what do they expect to get?
Well, I can't go into specifics, but it's considerable.
Tell me, what happens if Mr. Marshall can't come up with the money?
Well, then I reckon the negotiations will have to be open again.
So World Oil would be eligible to make a bid, is that correct?
That's about the size of it. Is World Oil considering making a bid?
Oh, I think there's a 90% chance that we might be interested.
Well, why don't you make that 100% chance by being there in court tomorrow in Dallas?
I think that can be arranged.
Then I'll see you in court.
I wouldn't miss it. Goodbye.
Where's the boss?
Oh, he's trying to arrange a meeting with that Doyle person.
Oh, the attorney for the enemy?
One of the enemies.
Don't look at me that way, Ashley. I'm on your side now.
Are you?
Of course I am. I got a lot at stake here, too.
Well, not nearly as much as Justin and I.
Well, maybe not, but I did leave a very good job to come here.
Now, don't you start that, TJ. It was your decision to come here, and don't blame us for that.
No, but I can blame Justin if he messes up this Ace High deal. Which reminds me, he never did answer my question.
What question?
Does he have the money to bail us out of this mess?
I don't know.
Hasn't he discussed it with you?
I wish you'd quit pestering me with questions. You'll find out the answer soon enough.
Sounds to me like your husband hasn't been keeping you informed as to what's happening around here.
Oh, hi.
Paige, come in.
Hi, TJ.
Hi, Paige.
Well, I was just reading about the injunction in the paper this morning. I was just wondering if Justin was all right.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yep, he's fine.
Everything's okay?
Well, we're trying to keep things under control.
How you doing, Paige?
I'm fine, TJ, thank you. Well, does anybody know what this whole thing is about?
Yes. Justin, where are you? Stay there. Stay right there. I need to talk to you. Excuse me, Paige. I'm going to have to go talk to Justin.
Where is he?
The conference room.
Well,
I better be going too.
You did come here to talk to someone, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, I'm all ears.
We were just talking about Elena and Joe.
It's funny. I could have sworn I heard Beau's name mentioned.
You did. We were talking about him and the fact that you seem to be the only one who likes him.
Who says anything about liking him? He's my client, just like you and Billy Joe.
Is that all?
That's all.
Well, I find that a little hard to believe, Ruby.
Better believe it, because it's true.
I'm trying. Don't forget what we talked about, Billy Joe.
What was that all about?
You know what it's all about. Ricky's no dummy.
What did he say?
He thinks Beau has something on you, and so does Elena. Ricky says Elena's out to get you. They're gonna find out something sooner or later. You better start thinking fast.
I am thinking fast, Billy Joe. And it would really help if my own brother weren't conspiring with other people behind my back.
I wasn't conspiring.
What do you call it then?
I was just talking. I gotta go.
Billy Joe, you better not tell Ricky or Elena what Beau has on me. It could ruin us all.
You know, Ruby, sometimes I wish you never even showed your face here in Houston.
Where have you been?
I've been working. What do you think I've been?
Well, I was beginning to wonder. I mean, you've been avoiding me since this morning.
Darling, I haven't been avoiding you. I was trying to get this misunderstanding with Ace High straightened out. I would think you'd try to understand that.
There are a lot of things that I don't understand, Justin. One of them is you buying the Harper place.
I told you why I did that.
I know. You wanted to build a mansion. Justin, you don't even have a dime to build a shack. How are you going to build a mansion?
I'll get the money, darling. Don't worry about it.
No, I have to worry about it. We're in a big financial mess right now.
Yes, Karen. Oh, he's here. Good. Send him in. We finish this discussion later. It's Doyle. Just let me take care of him, will you?
No, I'm staying. Maybe I can finally get some straight answers.
Mr. Marshall?
Yes. Mr. Doyle, won't you come in? Won't you take a seat?
Is this your private secretary?
Now, Mr. Doyle, this is my wife. This is Ashley Marshall.
How do you do, Mr. Doyle?
Yes, Ashley is an officer on the board. She'll be sitting in on the meeting.
Fine with me.
Well, won't you take a seat, sir? I have heard a lot about you, Mr. Doyle. It's nice to finally meet you.
Well, I haven't heard a damn thing about you, Mr. Marshall. But I can tell you one thing.
What's that?
I sure wouldn't like to be in your shoes right now.
I saw that special report on drug rehabilitation last night, and it was very good.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
You are planning to do more of that type of in-depth coverage, aren't you?
Well, we are trying to get in at least one special report each broadcast.
Oh, very good. The public loves it. And it reflects in the ratings.
Oh, speaking of the ratings, how are you doing with the Billy Joe Wright show?
It's, coming along.
But what?
Well, I was down on the set this morning, and I ran into the assistant producer of the show, a man named Beau Baker. Do you know him?
Mm-mm.
Well, he came as part of the package for Billy Joe Wright's deal.
And you're having second thoughts about it?
Elliot, I can't put my finger on it, but I have a feeling I've made a mistake. In fact, if Billy Joe aren't so popular on the Phil Roberts show, I'd be inclined to think this whole venture was a mistake.
Why do you say that?
Well, first of all, I don't like the way Ruby Wright operates.
What do you mean?
Billy Joe signed a contract with us, and right after that, she had him sign another contract with Justin Marshall.
What for?
To represent his chain of gas stations.
And you didn't know she was going to do it?
That's right. I only found out after the fact.
Well, I'm surprised that Billy Joe allowed himself to be involved in dealing like that.
So am I. But I have a feeling that Ruby masterminded this whole deal. I don't trust her. That's why I question her motives for insisting that Bo Baker be part of the package.
Well, what are his qualifications?
Ruby gave them to me, and I don't believe them.
Well, do you want me to check him out? Used to be a pretty good investigative reporter in my day.
Would you, Elliot? I'd appreciate it.
Sure. I'll let you know as soon as I have something.
Ah, thank you. Oh, by the way, Elliot, I saw Paige this morning as she was leaving the station, and she seemed very upset. Is there anything wrong at the boutique?
No, it's fine. It's her brother.
Oh. What about him?
Well, I've been very vocal about Paige getting involved with Justin. I'm concerned that he's only interested in her now because of the success she's had with the boutique. I think he's going to exploit that success to his own advantage.
And she doesn't agree with you?
That's right. Should have known better than to bring it up. We've already had several go-arounds about it.
Oh, Elliot, I'm sure she realizes that it's your concern for her.
No. I'm not sure she does.
Well, thank you, TJ, but I really just came by to see what Justin was going to do about that injunction.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help you there. I don't know the answer to that one myself.
You're working for Justin now, aren't you?
Guilty as charged.
Sometime I would love to hear about why you left World Oil.
How about now?
Sure.
It's worth a drink?
Okay. Shall we let Justin by?
Sure, why not? What do you think old Just would say if he walked in here and found us drinking his booze?
I wouldn't worry about it. I'm family, you know.
I don't. Look, since Justin's buying, let's drink up.
Fine with me.
I'll leave him a tip.
Oh, but now, don't overtip.
Oh, no. 15%. Justin will need something to laugh about today.
Does it look that bad, TJ?
Well, it could be. But you wanted to hear about my defection from World Oil.
Yes, I did.
You sure you want to hear about it? It's an awfully mundane story.
Oh, I like mundane stories.
Yeah? It'll put you to sleep.
That bad?
Look at, I think I'd rather know why you were so blue when you came in here.
It's not really important. Besides, I'm coming out of it now.
Hope I helped.
Yeah, you did.
Good. How's your business doing?
Good. No complaints.
Well, I'll have to come by and see you sometime. You can show me around.
Well, doors open. I'm there almost every day.
Is that an invitation?
Yes, it is.
I am the boss around here, Wang. I decide what we're going to serve. We are not putting Hunan chicken on the menu. No! People come here to get chili, Wang, and that is what they're going to get. Chili! Wang, I don't want any more argument. That's it. That's it, Wang. No! No! Oh, hi, Lurleen. How you doing?
Did I come at a bad time?
Oh, no. Wang and I have this argument every week. He fancies himself some gourmet cook or something, and I keep telling him we serve chili. I'm real glad you came over to see me. How about a beer?
Sure.
Look. Have a seat.
I wanted to thank you again for coming out to the ranch to say your condolences for my granddaddy.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just glad you're doing all right now.
I'm fine. Thanks.
You know, Lurleen, I read in the paper about how they found your granddaddy. It must have been real upsetting for you.
It was.
I also read in the paper that they found $15,000 on your grandfather. It's an awful lot of money, Lurleen. What are you going to do with all that money? I mean, you going to invest it or something?
Well, I really hadn't thought about it.
You know, you shouldn't let that money sit around and go to waste. You ought to put it to work so it can make you some more money.
Well, I'm really not worried about money. You see, my granddaddy sold the farm before he died for $500,000.
$500,000?
I used to think that money would solve all my problems, but it doesn't. I still feel real lonely. I wish I had my granddaddy back instead of the money.
You don't have very many friends out at the ranch, do you?
Not really. There's Miss Kate and Jenny and Ryan. That's about all.
I know how you feel. See, I'm kind of new in Houston myself. I don't really have very many friends either. But you know what, Lurleen? I've got a real good feeling about you and me. I think we could become friends. In fact, I think we could become best friends.
What are you reading?
Oh, it's an article on geological surveys.
Do you like stuff like that?
Sure, I like stuff like that. That's what I do for a living.
Are you going to get a job as a geologist here in Houston?
I don't know yet. Anyway, there's no hurry, especially after my last job.
Why? What happened?
I got fired.
How come?
I didn't happen to agree with my boss, and I told him so.
I'm not sure that was a smart thing to do.
Well, from what I hear, you were pretty good at telling Aunt Iris what you thought.
Oh, that's different, because I knew Mrs. Wheeler wasn't going to fire me.
It's not so different. I didn't care if I got fired. Had to stick up for my principles.
Well, I think you were right to stand up for your principles. I think people should stand up for their principles. That's why I like your dad. He's got lots of principles.
I know. I just wish he didn't have so many.
What do you mean?
He's too uptight.
He is. I didn't notice that.
Oh, I've known him a lot longer than you.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, he needs to learn to relax. Let go a little more. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't go barefoot in the mud. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I guess I understand. I want to fix dinner now. You know something, Miss Wheeler?
What?
Well, I'm really glad you're here. And I think Mr. Wheeler is really lucky you came down to Houston.
Then your meeting with the attorney went well.
Very. Mr. Doyle assured me that the Ace High franchise operators would be very receptive to our making an offer. That is, providing that Justin Marshall can't come up with the money, and he won't.
Well, Rena, it's possible, you know, that...
I know what you're going to say, that maybe Justin will come up with the money, but you take my word for it, he won't.
What are you planning to do?
Mr. Doyle intends to file an injunction to stop the sale tomorrow in Dallas. I want to be there to make an offer.
You got it. Now, how high a figure do you think we have to bid?
He wouldn't say exactly what the operators expect, but I think we can meet it. All I need is your support. Now, if you want me to work with the ceiling, that's fine, but I want to make this deal.
Okay, I'll come up with a figure. But now, Rena, I don't want you to get involved in a tobacco auction.
Justin's not going to make this one. What are you laughing at?
I like the cut of your jib. That's exactly the way to deal with competition, especially Justin. A cold, tough, businesslike slaughter.
Is there any other way?
Well, things aren't really as bad as they seem, are they, Mr. Doyle? I'm sure we can work out a deal some way.
Well, I'm sure we can. If you can meet the demands for the monies owed those station franchise operators, can you?
We can get them everything that they deserve.
Do you have the money, Mr. Marshall?
I can get it.
I thought we were going to have a serious discussion on this problem. Look, I didn't come here to pussyfoot around. I intend to file for that injunction tomorrow in behalf of my clients.
You're already too late, Doyle. The sale has already been made.
Then we'll unmake it. I do have one piece of advice for you. Free.
What's that?
You better be there in Dallas tomorrow with money in hand if you want to save this deal. Oh, and I think you should know that your competition is a step ahead of you, Mr. Marshall. And she's got big bucks behind her.
She?
That's Rena Decker, World Oil. You've heard of her?
We've heard of her.
Well, then I'm sure you know you better get it in gear. See you tomorrow, Marshall.
You have nobody to blame but yourself.
I don't want to hear that, Ashley.
Well, you're going to hear it, Justin. You set yourself up for this.
Now, how do you figure that?
Because you need money, and you need it now. And I just want to know how in the world you think that you're going to get it.
Don't worry about the money. I'll get it.
Where?
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Drop it.
If you had listened to me in the beginning when I told you that you were spending too much money. But
drop it, Ashley.
No. You had to be bull-headed. You had to have everything first class. You didn't need the hooty-tooty conference room. You didn't need all those expensive things that you spent so much money for in these offices.
I need these things.
Oh, sure you do. Just like you need the Harper place. And what good's it going to do you now? Is it going to get you out of this mess? Oh, maybe those franchise owners will want one of these chairs or that picture on that wall or this big expensive rug.
I'll handle it.
How? No one in their right mind is going to loan us a dime. And if we lose Ace High, Justin, Marshall Oil is just a low ball and high cotton.
I am not going to lose Ace High. I am not going to lose one damn thing. Karen, charter me a jet for tomorrow morning. I'm going to Dallas.
Thank you for your support, Grant.
Well, you got it, because you're right.
I've never felt more right about anything in my life.
All right. I'll see to it that the company plane is at your disposal first thing in the morning.
Good. And when I get back, I'll have a little present for you.
Present?
Justin Marshall's scalp.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.